Welcome to Donget's Model Railway. Today I have a Hornby 8F on the workbench. If you're wondering why I've got an 8F on my mostly diesel and electric layout, my modelling era starts in 1966 with the introduction of the blue-grey livery. My layout is also set in the northwest of the country, and the first 2 years would have seen regular steam haulage in this area using Stanier 8Fs and Black 5s predominantly. This 8F will help set the scene for this early period alongside D-numbered diesels and E-numbered electrics. Getting the body off this locomotive is an intricate problem. There are lots of fragile parts like the two sanders, which are body mounted but project down past the wheels through the motion. The steps on my example all seem to be somewhat loose and may only be held in with some rather flexible glue. There is one screw hidden in the front pony, and a second beneath the cab. The screws are different sizes and lengths and need to go back in the right way round. I received this loco pre-chipped, but I couldn't configure it. JMRI did not identify it properly other than telling me it was a Hornby chip of some kind, and I've decided to replace it rather than to work with it. Whilst most decoders can be identified in software by JMRI, the identification process for Hornby decoders involves looking for tiny coloured spots in particular places on the decoder. Spoiler alert though, there aren't any good ones, and if you expect the kind of functionality I do for a DCC decoder, you'll be replacing every Hornby decoder you find. I've since figured out a better place to put the camera. From the next video onwards, you'll see a lot more of the loco and a lot less of the top of my head getting in the way. Sorry about that. Whoever did the DCC installation in this previously has located the chip on top of the chassis in a location where there wasn't quite enough space for it, so the body wasn't quite on straight. It may even have been bananaed up a bit in the middle. There was also some stray glue from the tape which had been used to hold the wiring down, which was sticking the chassis to the body and preventing it from coming off. I'm going to replace the chip with the Zimo MX600R. I'm going to locate it in the smoke box where there's a convenient and appropriately sized void. When reassembling the loco, make sure the wires aren't pinched anywhere, as there is very limited space inside the body shell. Also make sure the fragile sanders go between the driving wheels and clear the inside of the motion so it will not be obstructed when the wheels rotate. Remember the screws are different sizes and to use the correct one at each end. Now I've got the old chip out, I can identify it properly. This particular Hornby chip isn't their worst, but not by much. It is at least standards compliant, unlike their first attempt, but it's about as basic as a DCC decoder can be. It doesn't support ABC braking, and it doesn't support speed tables either. That rules it out for being in any motored vehicle on my layout. It also doesn't have much in the way of function configurability either, so setting up a DVT with lots of lighting circuits would be a problem for it. I do have the perfect job for this decoder though. Turning the saloon lights on and off in the centre car of a Bachmann 108. This will release a more capable decoder from that role that I can assign to something more important. I will have to resolder some of the wires to this one first though, as a couple of them seem to have become detached from it. Unlike diesel locomotives, steam locos don't have a design speed to tune to. They may not even have a speedometer in the cab. The mainline registered preserved 8F is only permitted to do 50 miles an hour at the moment. However, 60 mile an hour running on fitted freight trains by 8Fs in service was not uncommon, so this is what I am going to tune to. A scale 60 miles per hour is a 3 meter time of 8.5 seconds. That's a bit too fast. Let's slow it down a bit. That's a fairly good stop though for a first guess on braking distance. Still a bit too fast. That's good. Half speed would be 30 miles an hour, or a 3 meter time of 17 seconds. That's a bit too fast. Let's slow it down a bit. A single extra point of stopping distance, which I added to try and make it stop closer to the end of the block, has made it significantly overshoot. I'll put that value back to where it was last time. If you want to see more as I continue to develop and work on my layout and the stock that runs on it, feel free to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything more than a mouse click. If you like this video, there's a button below for that too. And if you've got any questions or suggestions, feel free to write me a comment below. I do read and appreciate comments on all of my videos. Dead on 30 mile an hour, exactly the speed I wanted at half throttle. See you next time on Dongit's Model Railway.